Hey everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of the Velvetcast.
Hey, what's up?
Woo.
Woo!
As per usual, I'm your host Mitch, and joined with me today is, as always, the awesome Sora.
Always.
Always,
Okay.
always, and the impragable Josh.
Yeah, impragable. Is
yeah,
that a new word?
Yeah, it's a new word. Yeah, it's a new word.
Cracking open the thesaurus, I see. I
Oh
dig it.
yeah, no, it's a made up word. Okay. Anyways, so before we get started on today's episode, I kind of wanted to emphasize a couple of different things. Persona 5 is coming out tomorrow on November 13th. So I'm excited. It's a little nerve-wracking, but I'm excited. And also I wanted to also congratulate us, not to pat ourselves on the back too hard, but we hit $100 in Patreon funds.
Woo! That's awesome.
Which is
Thank you so much for your support, guys. Seriously.
Absolutely, which is also why I'm actually going to switch the format. So instead of being Patreon, the number of Patreon or patron oriented for our goals, I'm just going to make it like monetary goals. So because you guys
milestones.
So because we hit 100, I'm just going to say, hey, that's enough for me to be like, you know what we should do? Make the Velvetcast, or at least the Adventurecast, available through some other audio platform for you guys. So that we're gonna start working on that next week, because I'm gone for most of the week this upcoming week. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for all your support, and just know that every dime and everything that we get goes straight to the channel, and I always 100% appreciate it, because if it wasn't for you guys, we probably wouldn't have some of the stuff we have today, and I wouldn't have gotten a chance to play Cuphead on Saturday, which was a fucking fantastic game.
Dude, glad you're enjoying it.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
I might pick it up.
It's like if you liked Mega Man, or if you liked those types of games, like little run and guns, it's so fun. And so I feel like we're kind of rushing it a little bit. I'm rushing it a little bit, but it's only because I'm so excited. This is a topic I wanted to talk about. So we're gonna start talking about Stranger Things season 2.
Okay. So this is where I meet myself, because I haven't watched the show.
Yep, and then when we're done, Josh will send you a message.
We're sending Sora to the Upside Down real quick.
Okay, I'm going to the Upside Down. Be right back. Bye. I hope I don't have like Barb. Bye.
Oh, spoilers for season 1. No, so we're gonna talk straight up spoilers for Stranger Things season 2. If you have not finished season 2, mute like Sora did, and when you see the image on your screen change to the next image, then you can come back.
Yes. Flee.
So Josh, let's explain what happened with this. We were going to talk about this last week.
Yeah.
But so me and you binge watched all of season 2 in a week.
Oh my gosh. It was total. Fuck. I don't think it was worth watching, like binge watching the thing like I did.
No, it wasn't, and
I watched it all in one day, actually.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's
That's so real. Holy cow.
I mean, okay, that's the thing. Okay, so let's before we, because it just sounds like we hate it, let's at least talk about this season. I still enjoyed the fact that I watched this season. I'm glad that it's around. I just don't feel like it's this, like, it's not like, oh, it's not the same, but like it's not the same in such a way that like it's very noticeable. It's like I was talking to another one of my friends about this, because they just started it, and one of the little qualms I mentioned was like, hey, the writing style feels very different. And it almost feels like a lot of what happens in the story is a direct response to what the fans kind of wanted, rather than, what should progress and what should happen. Because one of the most disappointing things to ever happen in the entire series happens in episode 2 of this season, where you find out what happened to 11 right after the events of season 1, where I guess she only spent like 5 minutes in the Upside Down and then just came back and then hid in the woods, and that was the lamest, like, in my opinion, that's one of the lamest things that happened in this season. And like, it was that reveal just felt like nothing. Like I thought
it's like there's no. Okay, so here's my take on it: is that Stranger Things 1, like season 1, was built from the get-go not to have a sequel.
Oh
I
yeah.
do not believe that a sequel was ever intended for this show. And that any lingering mysteries were designed like, those classic sort of, or classic stingers that you'd have from movies back then. Like all those horror movies would have some kind of thing at the end that suggests, there's something more.
Yeah. And I super love that idea too. I love the idea that was how it ended, and then when Stranger Things season 2 was being kind of teased and stuff, like I was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, I'm excited to see these characters again because I liked 11 and I liked all the other characters and I liked, you know, as I try to desperately remember any of their names.
Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike's one. But yeah, no, that guy actually, I like him. I like the kid who plays him. I saw him in It, and that was he was a ride. But
I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, like, it's sort of like the Guardians of the Galaxy thing, where it's like when you first encounter it, it feels like it's coming out of just nowhere, and it just like takes you by surprise, and you think, "Wow, this is something that I didn't know that I wanted before."
like,
But
what would you? Because there's a couple of things I could point out. Like, I know that the problem with, I think my opinion on this is that I can't tell if there's some, because I talked, there's a specific episode in my mind where 11 goes to I think it's Philadelphia. She goes to Philadelphia.
And she encounters that 80s multicultural band or gang.
Oh yeah, the 80s multiracial gang. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I found it funny that was what the series started off on.
Well, okay, so that scene gave me like X-Men vibes. Like not the very first scene. Like, it reminded me of something that they would show to be like, this is what a mutant power can do, and like it gave me a lot of those like those X-Men vibes. But like, honestly, I didn't like that. I liked the idea.
That entire like side story had no real meaning aside from getting Elle away from everybody so that she doesn't solve the immediate.
Well, and also because they wanted to put something cool, I'm sure they wanted to just put something that would be like oh look, like there's others out there, and oh what and they even dropped the idea that like, oh no, the father character is still alive somehow, and they kind of drop that on you because they with season 2 it feels like they are aware that yes, there will be a season 3 because this show is stupidly popular.
Okay, so it's something where I groaned a little bit inside as soon as I heard that there would be a season 2.
Really?
Yeah. I thought I told you this, but I guess I didn't. But like, I could not see any way that a season 2 would work, at least nearly as well as season 1. Because everything that it did in season 1 for Stranger Things was built around like talking about like the metatextual stuff. It's like it's about taking all of these like different horror story types, like the mother looking for a missing child, the like kids in like the ET situation, the teenagers dealing with the monster, and then suddenly mashing them together. And like the reason it worked the first time around was because it was new, because no one had ever taken all these things and just like mashed them together into something that seems like a coherent whole. You have the moment where everybody gets together suddenly and you think, oh man, that's awesome. But it happens in like season 2 and you think, wow, so it's just like what happened in season 1, right?
Well, also, the scene where like because it's them escaping the lab, right? Like, they're escaping the lab, and then it's like, wow, what are you, like, wait, what are you doing here? Well, what are you doing here? Like, it was like, oh my god, just shut up. I think the problem is like, by the time it got to like season not season, but like I felt the grind. Like Jackie made a point of this because I talked to her a little bit about it, where she finished it before I did, and she and like I at first, because she told me she didn't like the season. I'm like, what do you mean you don't like the season? Everyone was so hype and ready for it, and then I started watching. I'm like, oh no.
So I think part of it is just structurally, there's not really any new ground there left to tread in the series.
Well,
because so either you're going to go deeper into like talking about like the mysterious shadowy government organization and like exploring that way, and exploring deeper into Stranger Things universe, which I don't think the universe is what mattered at all about Stranger Things, honestly. Like the universe existed to, pay homage to like all those things and like make an interesting, story.
Yeah.
Either that, or you have to find a way to, construct a universe around, like, tossing in all these different story elements again, which you can't do unless I think you just sort of like, wipe the slate clean.
Well, I think another thing that just bothers me is just like how it handled certain things, like the relationship between Nancy and what's that dude's name? Steve?
Yeah, I think the biggest winner from this season was just Steve as a character.
Yeah, well, he got his full. It almost feels like he got a redemption and then some. Like,
yeah, he went from just being redeemed to being like, all around pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, now he's a fan favorite. Like people really like him because of this season. Like they hated his character in season 1 because the brother character whose name escapes me right now, like they were like, well, why didn't Nancy end up with him? And it's like, well, reasons. I actually really liked the fact that she didn't end up with him in the first season. I actually really thoroughly enjoyed that. There was a nice change of pace. I was like, I didn't see that coming, kind of thing. And then they worked it back a bit, and then
I mean, what's funny is that like they draw attention to how like while it's an interesting and unexpected thing, at the end of the day, I don't think they actually really thought too deeply about why Nancy ended up with Steve again rather than like the older brother character.
Well, I mean,
and it's, to me, it feels like they're like, when they call out to that, it feels like you can sort of see a little bit of thinness in the writing. It's just something that existed to make us pause for a second.
Yeah, well, it also, because I remember, because it's that first time they're like in the motel or something, and it's like, well, why didn't you, like, whatever happened to us? And it's like, well, I waited for you for a month, and it's like, when did that happen? I wasn't aware that was a thing, because it felt like a gap. But let's talk about the real champion of season 2. Let's talk about Billy. The actor who plays Billy. I'm like, just Josh know who I'm talking about.
No.
The mustached guy with the mullet.
Oh, the journalist.
Yeah. No.
Oh, fuck.
Billy, the heartthrob.
Like
the older brother. Yeah, the heartthrob
guy. The jean jacket wearing heartthrob. Okay.
Yeah. No,
his name is Billy?
Yeah, that's his name, I think. I'm pretty sure his name's Billy.
I thought he was actually really interesting.
Oh, well, that's okay. So that's a thing. So I know a lot of people who are really willing to, like, I know it sounds like a joke when I say he's the star, but like I kind of miss characters like this. And maybe this is kind of a weird thing for me to say, but like I feel like characters when they're written, especially today, like people have this like perfection or this perfect version of what they want a bully to be, or this perfect version of what they want their hero to be. But I always liked the character that like was kind of like, he's flawed, he's kind of shitty, but like, it works. Like I like the idea that like you see him being abusive to his stepsister, and you're like, oh, what a piece of shit, like,
I mean, like, he's abusive to his stepsister, and he's abusive to, like, Steve, too. But it's like, you sort of feel something underneath it a little bit.
Yeah, and then it's expanded, and like the minute that the dad like overpowers him and calls him a horrible slur and everything like that, and like emasculates him and shit like that, like it's like, oh shit, like I felt a little bit of it. I'm like, oh.
I mean, you understand why he turned out that way.
Oh yeah,
it's
of course.
It's not something that excuses the character, but it's like, I feel like a lot of characters are a little bit thin nowadays.
Well, of course. Well, yeah, because I mean, and that's why I liked Billy so much, because I liked the fact that like it kind of actually reminded me of Steve in season 1. Like Steve had this slight redemption kind of quality, where like in season 1, whether like, you know, he was doing what he thought was cool and shit, and like he was kind of like, you know, the hot shot character, and then Billy became that character in season 2. And I like the idea that Billy is like, he's just kind of like this like shitty character, but like I miss characters like that. I miss characters who aren't perfect. I'm tired of people wanting this like this good versus evil, like no gray, all good versus evil bullshit. Like no, characters are great. Characters are, you know, they're not everyone's gonna be perfect. Sometimes people do shitty things, and like even though it doesn't excuse them, you can at least understand where they're coming from. But like,
well, it's like, Mitch, have you seen like the latest Planet of the Apes movie?
I wanted to, and then I just never found the time to watch it.
Okay, shit. Sorry, it's like you cut out for me, and I thought like my internet went out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said that I wanted to see it, but I got so busy with work and stuff.
Oh, okay. Do you mind a minor spoiler about one character?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So there's this one character in it that like seems like sort of sympathetic. He's on like the enemy team side or enemy side, but it's like he seems like, you know, he has like that. You see the spark in him, I guess, of humanity, and you think, oh man, he's gonna like turn against like, you know, all of his like allies and like help them in like the last act. But at the end of it, like, you know, there is that chance, and he doesn't. And I thought that was just terrific.
Oh, that's good. No, because I wish more stuff like that would happen, because I don't know, it sounds kind of weird, but like it just feels like a lot of it, because there's nothing more disappointing than when something's hardcore predictable. Like the pieces that are like, that's another thing with Stranger Things season 2. The predictability. Like, the thing that I loved about season 1 was that you didn't really know anything that was going on. All the pieces were there, but like, you know, you're trying, as the heroes are trying to figure it out, you're trying to figure it out too. But like when it came to season 2, like there was like the fact that Bob was gonna die was like a thing where it's like, oh yeah, no, that's gonna happen, because like they lingered on the shot.
God, Bob.
They lingered on the shot too much. Like, you know, he's gonna die. You know, like,
I mean, I knew Bob was either going to be evil or die within like 20 seconds of meeting the character.
And well, the funny thing is, there's a part of me that's like, man, I hope Bob doesn't die. I think his name is Sean Austin. I like him a lot. I like him when I see him in movies and stuff like that. Which is why I don't.
Sam?
Yeah, I also think of him from like 50 First Dates and stuff like that. Like I remember him in other movies, and then like someone had to point out to me that he was also in Click, and I'm like, oh no, I forgot that Click was a movie. Don't remind me of Adam Sandler's fucking like just like fucking filmography.
I mean, he had some distinctly good movies. Okay.
Yeah, no, he did. Well, he did, but like they were back in the 90s.
Like, I hear he's making some good stuff now, but that's not the point.
This is strictly Stranger Things.
But it's fuck. It's like he has to die so that the sexual tension between Hooper and Will's mom, can, you know,
Will's
between
mom.
Hooper and fucking Winona Ryder, can like become like fucking a real thing.
Well, yeah, because the funny thing is the actor who plays
Because it's like you need to pass through this like emotional checkpoint, I guess, in order for it to be okay.
Yeah,
nowadays.
the actor who plays Hooper is actually ships the ship too, which I think is funny. But no, like I actually like another thing I really I will say one of the positive things about the season is I really like seeing Hooper again. I liked seeing him, and I liked seeing Winona Ryder, and I like seeing like there's certain actors and people who came that were just like, I'm really glad they came back. I'm really glad that like they like I like Mike. I liked seeing Eleven, even if I didn't agree with where her character went sometimes.
I think I thought that the series was okay.
Yeah,
but like it was okay. Not great, not like something that blew me away like the first season, but it was okay.
Yeah,
like because the first season wasn't about Stranger Things, right? The Stranger Things season 1 wasn't about Stranger Things.
Yeah,
but Stranger Things season 2 is about Stranger Things.
Yeah, for those of you at home, Josh is because that could be a little confusing. Josh is just simply stating that like it almost feels like a little bit self-aware of what it is in season 2. Like you can feel the popularity seep into the story. Like things that the fans wanted happened the way like
and I think season 3 definitely happening, but it's like it'll be all right if it continues on like this. It's just I'm going to try my best not to like binge watch it in one day.
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
That might have tainted your viewing. I will say this. The one thing that I think it was like because like I had to talk to my sister about this because it's bothered me to no end. The last song of the season was they're all in the middle school and they're all dancing and you hear the Police's song every move you make. Now when Sting wrote that song originally, it was like there's a whole backstory to the song, but essentially it's very possessive. The lyrics are very possessive. It's very famous for being an incredibly possessive song. And at first I was like, that's a bad song to end your season on, and then like my sister Jessica had to be like, Mitchell, no, didn't you understand what it was? The monster in the Upside Down will always be possessing Will no matter what. Like that's the idea. That's kind of like it's a play on words almost, like like how did you not see that, Mitchell? I'm like, well, I thought that they expelled all of the monster. I don't know. Wasn't that the whole point of that scene? So like, I don't know. But anyways,
I mean, it might just be that the monster is just going to continue to try to get at,
Oh, the Mind Flayer. That's what that one's called.
Yeah, the Mind Flayer is probably just going to like it's not dead, so it's going to come back as a villain.
I don't know. I don't like the idea. I don't like that idea like at all. I don't like the idea that like there's this like uniform like the problem was is I thought it was going to be a cool tentacle monster or something like that, and it turned out to be just like the black fog from Lost. Like all right.
I mean, I think it's like the problem is like so. I think the only way to have saved it was to have added more mystery, but like we didn't introduce anything really interesting.
It could have been mysterious. You didn't show the fucking thing halfway through your goddamn season.
I mean, I think that's not the point at all, though. I think it's just like there's no mystery in this season because we're working with all these things that we already know.
Yeah. You know what it is? They should take a chapter out of the Life is Strange book. Per se, not season 2, but Life is Strange 2, I think, is not taking place in Blackwell Academy or anything like that. It's going to be, from what I understand, it's going to be a whole new set of characters and everything, and it's just going to be in a different location. And that, to me, is what I think Stranger Things 2 should have been.
Yeah, I mean, I would have really loved if they just moved, to a different town.
But then again, I guess a lot of that hinges on a lot of this season hinged on our prior information of these characters. But what would have been cool is if you took a character like maybe Hooper or something like that, where like you took a couple characters that can move, that aren't bound to the town like Mike or anything like that, and then you just have like that's your connecting thread. Is like,
I mean, yeah. I think honestly, what it is people are fundamentally misunderstanding what was good about Stranger Things season 1, and the people who are writing Stranger Things are fundamentally misunderstanding what was good about season.
Well,
because what people say they liked about it, I don't think are the actual reasons why it was good.
Well, of course, but I mean,
like it's not the '80s references. It's not like all the callbacks.
Yeah,
it was a story that had something sort of to say about like the genre that it's paying homage to, about the era of filmmaking it's paying homage to.
All right, well, I think we've talked about it enough. not to cut us off, but Sora has been sitting on his end for like 20 minutes now while we like jerk each other off about how much we didn't like this show.
I mean, I liked it plenty.
No, I know. I'm being playful. I'm being playful.
I'm sort of glowing thinking about how I was right about this.
No, okay.
This isn't a good thing.
Go grab. Just stop. Go grab. I love you, Josh. Go grab Sora. We're gonna switch over to the next one.
All right. Just.
Because it's gonna sound loud as shit on my end if if I type. So for the next conversation topic, actually, ironically enough, it's gonna be Sora and I talking about this, while Josh has to mute himself. So,
yeah. So I'm going to the Upside Down.
Did you actually message him? Did you actually?
No, I DM'd him.
All right, hang on. Let me just. I hate doing this because there's a chance that he's not actually on his computer anymore.
Yeah.
Sora, come back in. This is so fucking unprofessional. I hate this. Oh God. Seriously? This is why I didn't want to do this format. God damn it. So anyways, so Josh, yeah. Yeah, don't mute yourself just yet. I need someone else to talk to while we're waiting for Sora to eventually come back into this conversation. So the Steven bomb, yeah. This entire bomb was released on the Cartoon Network app, which I believe one of the other bombs was released this way. Absolutely. Oh my God. Hey.
That was an interesting channel you decided to post in to bring me back in, but I'm in.
Well, I was just getting mad because I'm like, this was stupid. Why did we do it this way? Oh, man. All right. So, Josh, go ahead and mute yourself, and we'll talk.
Bye, Josh.
I'm going to Upside Down now. Upside Down.
Yeah,
guys.
All right.
But hopefully, I will be like Barb.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he'll actually return our calls.
Oh my God! All right, God. All right. So, is he muted? Are we ready to do this?
Yes,
all right.
Yes.
So what? Okay. So if you guys just saw the if you guys saw the video screen change to Steven's feet and a phone, that means that we are now talking about the Steven Bomb 7. I think this is.
Okay.
So I've been pissed. This is a good bomb. This is
I really like this bomb.
Before we go any further, guys, if you just unmuted your microphones and now you don't want spoilers for this, obviously, spoiler alert, we're going into all of 7. This is very important.
So there are six Steven Universe episodes that just dropped on the Cartoon Network app on Friday. So we're going to be talking about those. Yeah.
Yeah. We're not going to go individually. We're just going to talk about the bomb in general terms because individually could take a while.
Yeah.
All right. So I need to explain what happened with this bomb on my personal level before, because let me put it this way: the episodes were fucking great. I really enjoyed. Like it felt so good to be watching Steven Universe again.
Yes, it's been too long. Obviously,
but I absolutely despise how Cartoon Network has been handling Steven Universe. I miss the time. Why can't we just have it the once a week thing? I know that some of these are cliffhangers, but it would be better than having it all in one fucking go, because I personally do not feel the impact of the time, because I just binge watched all the episodes. But
if it wasn't for the fact that I had wanted to talk about these episodes, I wouldn't have binged them. I would have watched one every few days. For me.
Oh yeah, like. It's so fucking real in terms of like, because you're supposed to have the impact of holy shit, it's been a few like days or weeks since Connie has talked to Steven, and you're supposed to have that feeling, like that gut feeling, but like it just loses all. It's the same thing that happened with another one of the bombs where Sardonyx. The Sardonyx bomb, where Pearl and Garnet aren't talking to each other for what's supposed to be, I assume, like a week or two, but because it all happens in like a span of 5 episodes for the bomb, like it just, I don't know, it doesn't have that same impact.
Oh yeah, that I was actually I wasn't current when I was watching that. Like that episode already came out. Like I was binging Steven for the first time, I believe, when I got to Sardonyx. So. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of pitched through all of that. But I agree. I feel like that would have probably been better if I just had the weight of the time in between be felt. That being said, I think they did a really good job of conveying the kind of feelings that Steven was having with this. Because, I mean, I've been there before. You've been there before. Like, it's a fucking real shitty thing that a lot of people have to go through.
Oh yeah, the fucking anxiety of it all, and like
yes, and like freaking out whenever you get a text, and like just the disappointment when it's some fuckhead friend.
there was some belly laughs on my end.
Yeah, fucking Ronaldo was texting him, like I didn't get to just like groan, and like I'm like yes, I know exactly that feeling.
It's so I love how they're giant block text too. It's so perfect. But okay, so I need to explain what my experience was before we get into it, because like it's important for everyone. It's important for me to convey why I might be a little bitter about the way that this was handled. I use Tumblr. I used Tumblr because when I was back in 2011, I was like, you know what, I need a place to go get my Katekyo Hitman Reborn stuff, because I don't know where else to get it. And there was a couple people on Tumblr, and they were like, yeah, just come here. And I was like, oh, okay, sure, cool. So I started following blogs and stuff, and skip about 6 years now, I've been on this site. Tumblr is still one of my favorite websites in all of the web. I still find I don't use it for whatever everyone thinks you use it for. I just kind of use it for the promoting the channel, making new friends, finding funny stuff to post and shit. But the thing I absolutely cannot stand about the current atmosphere of that website is the fact that I was unaware that the bomb was even happening. I was so out of the loop with Steven Universe, because I hadn't heard anything in months, that when I logged into my Tumblr account while I was on break at work, and all these spoilers just start pouring in, and the worst part about it was all the spoilers were anti-ship stuff, and I'm like, who the fuck am I following that would post that? Because it's pretty obvious if you follow me, I have a very clear bias towards a ship in Steven Universe. It was back when it was a crack ship. Lapadot was a
fucking Lapadot, dude. Hell yeah.
It was my crack ship, and then it happened, and it blew my fucking mind. And so I was on that break at work. I was getting so furious because I was getting all this information without any context. And I'm not sure about you, but if you've ever had something that you were anticipating, or something big happens and no one's presenting the information correctly, like like for example when that Infinity War trailer popped up in during the summer for a lot of people, and like information was being spread without like the actual trailer to watch. And people were theorizing shit and everything like that, and there's no proper context. It's the most infuriating fucking like feeling in the world of like I don't know what you're saying. So like for the last 2 days I didn't watch it because I wasn't sure if we are going to talk about it or not. So I binged it all a couple hours before we started the Velvetcast for tonight. And it was not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. The quote unquote breakup between the two characters is not as bad.
It's not an emotional breakup, really. It's emotional, but it's not like it was not Lapidot. It was not Lapidot. It was not Lapis refusing Peridot. It was Lapis running away.
Right.
So, yeah, like, I don't know.
No, and well, that's the thing. But oh my god, these like it's like Sora. It's so bad. It's so fucking bad because
I don't. Oh, go for it.
Oh, I'm sorry if I'm just rambling about this.
No, it's fine.
I think
it's annoying.
It just bothers me to no end because I feel like they're not seeing the dynamics for what they are. They're not seeing the writing for what it is. They're not. They're imposing these things that they like. Let me put it this way: we used to run a panel called Art of Shipping. And the idea of the panel was like, one, to show acceptance to other ships even if you don't agree with it. Like, discourse is garbage. The fact that there's a discourse about fucking shipping is the stupidest fucking thing ever. Because, yeah, Mitchell saying a controversial statement of the fucking century. It's just... The fact that there's shipping discourse, the fact that Lapidot and Amidot were ships that were so strong and the fans were so passionate about it that the worst fans in the fandom pressured a fucking like writer to quit this show, it still bothers me to no end because they shouldn't have that kind of power. Fans shouldn't have that kind of bullying and garbage tier power. And maybe I'm a little off topic, but it just
yeah. Let's kind of just steer back in because I think the trials and tribulations of the Steven Universe fandom have been well documented at this point.
Right.
And I think I kind of it's unfortunately gone to the point where I have to treat Steven Universe like I do Rick and Morty, where I enjoy the show, and I kind of just I stay away from the fandom.
Oh my god! Did I tell you about one of the comments I got yesterday?
No.
No. So I got berated by some dude on during the stream for Cuphead, and I didn't think anything of it because I'm used to that kind of stuff. It happens every now and then. But he left a comment that was like lick my balls. I'm like, I know what that's from. And I all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay. But let's get back to Steven. Let's get back to Steven. This bomb, you can definitely. There's a lot of emotions, obviously, with this. With removing the shipping bullshit that is the fandom and everything. I saw this as a lot of really beautiful moments for our characters. I saw this as a lot of interesting moments. Steven coming in the episode 1 when he has the realization that, oh, this is how Connie feels. I love that. I love how the characters develop. I love the writing of all the episodes. I like how Peridot goes through going through the stages of a breakup almost, where and having that depression and and at the end of the episode having your friends there for you, and having that, and then having that same kind of thing happen with Steven where they go to the cabin in the woods.
Yeah. I just want to say that I really like that this is that this whole arc was an opportunity for Steven to grow. Because I think too often that Steven, not too often, but usually Steven's the one who helps other characters out. You know what I mean? He's the one who helps out other characters see their own flaws, whereas Steven has to kind of work through this himself. He's in the wrong on this one. And it's kind of a refreshing perspective on that. And he was helping, and he does what he does best and helps others out, trying to help Mayor Dewey out. And that's when he realized why he fucked up with Connie. And then when he, helps, Peridot play Stardew Valley in the kindergarten. Like she, like makes himself feel a little better too, So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Like I think the thing that I just really appreciate about this all was just I just like the writing so much. I miss the writing of the show so much. And that's the thing. I love like that's because I feel very conflicted with Steven Universe, where it's one of those things where I feel like this is the first time I'm experiencing like a negative fandom. Most fandoms I'm part of are like like they're pretty chill. Katakiyo's dead. Like
R.I.P.
yeah. But like for the most part, most of the fandoms I'm normally a part of are pretty chill, or I make a healthy distance between me and the fandom so that I can still enjoy, like with Rick and Morty, where I can still enjoy a show. But it's impossible. I feel like it's impossible for me to like remove that aspect of Steven Universe.
Well, what's so clashing is that Steven Universe is like a show that's all about inclusion and love and all that feel good shit, and it really just goes to show that any group can kind of make it a toxic environment, And I think part of it is that I think a lot of the fan base is pretty young, so when things don't go their way with a certain way certain characters are written and stuff like that, like you tend to lash out more. I don't know. I don't want to ponder too much about it.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know that this isn't what we should be talking about. We should be talking about how awesome these episodes were, that's such a dumb thing that we even have to talk about it.
Yeah, right.
Well,
it is what it is.
You know what we should talk about?
What's that?
We should talk about how Sadie is awesome and how Sadie quit her job and Steven and the cool kids have a band now, and we should talk about how Kevin's a douche.
Yeah, I love how the cool kids are actually cool, and the only openly douchey character now is Kevin. Even now, Kevin is, I don't want to say he's sympathetic yet, but they're giving some opportunities.
They're opening up a little bit, just enough. I like how shitty Kevin is. Kevin is because there's the cool kids who are like the cool kids are genuinely cool, just like you said, they are people who they may not. I'm starting to get the idea that maybe they're not even popular kids. They're just cool kids.
Hang out with. They're not concerned about what other people think about them.
And Kevin is the exact opposite of that. Where I like how everyone he kind of hates everyone at the party, and
hey, everybody having a good time? Yeah, you're all liars. So good.
I'm enjoying it's funny. We just talked about a character in Stranger Things season 2 where the character's kind of a douche, but for me at least, he was a douche in a delightful, shitty way where I kind of missed characters like that. Because one of the things I'll say about Steven Universe that I really, really, really enjoy is that characters are super flawed. Characters have these have problems, and they have Lapis is clearly going through some she doesn't want to I absolutely feel for both Peridot and Lapis. Obviously, my shipper bias is showing, but their relationship is complicated. It's one of those things where Peridot clearly cares and tries not to say the wrong things, and Lapis's response, it's technically you're just lying, which is technically true. I like that there's actual problems. I like the fact that there's that sometimes things don't just end all hunky-dory at the end of episodes for Steven Universe. I like the fact that Lapis's reason for leaving is super real. She doesn't want to go through another war, and I don't fucking blame her.
It's consistent, right? You're oh, I can't really I'm upset that she's leaving, but I also I get it. Fuck. It's it's so, I love how it puts me in this bind where it's fuck, you really backstab Peridot, Lapis, but also I get that you don't want to be trapped in a mirror for another 1,000 years. So
and I can't I I feel like people forgot that. People forgot that detail about Lapis. It's like, no, that's her whole character. Her whole character is
like
punished.
Her relationship with her happiness and relationship with Peridot and Steven and the entire Earth is like 0.0001% of her lifetime, where the rest of that has just been pain, just nothing but pain and suffering.
And
so
I love that. I love how she not, I wouldn't say overreacted. Kind of overreacted. She overreacted at the mention of Blue Diamond because of course she's probably having like those moments, like those flashes of holy shit, that's right, I'm still on war-torn land.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that. Like, and for those of you who don't think Lapis is coming back, come on, get real. This is not the last time we're seeing Lapis. This is part of a character development arc. You know, those things that exist in stories, arcs. So like, I think once again the problem. I really gotta. You know what the sad part is? I don't want to leave the fandom. I don't want to leave the fandom. I like the art and I like the people who are being creative and I like the cosplay and I like everything.
I think the vast majority of the fandom of Steven Universe is really good. I just think there's just a small. It's always the small loud minority that make that kind of taints it for a lot of people. So I think the best thing for us to do is just, you know, you can like to help try to make the fandom better, you know, like try to focus on positive and constructive discourse, as it were, you know.
Yeah. God, seriously.
Yeah. Out of control.
Yeah,
nice.
There you go. That's your Steven Universe lesson for the day. Yeah. if you start to become like it sounds like you're winding down like morally, that's why I should just pull out the fucking ukulele. No.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of how else what other episodes. Like, I think probably my favorite episode of this bunch was the kindergarten episode, because I mean, like, you got some choice, you know, amethyst episode, choice amethyst moments, like cheering up Peridot stuff, like just the montage of them farming, just, you know, I fucking love the music in this show. It's so fucking good. Oh man, it puts a smile on my face, really.
I love the what is it? They call themselves something, like they're all short, so when they all hang out, you call them something, like I forgot what this is. The Shorty Brigade or something like that. I'm fucking up so bad, but I love it when those three characters are on the screen at the same time, because I get this real sense of like camaraderie and like this, like a genuine friendship and stuff. Like, yeah. And like I love like when Amethyst, Peridot, and Steven are all hanging out together. Like it's just fun. But my obviously my favorite episode probably is Raising the Barn, even though it's super sad. It's the episode that I felt the most emotional, not just because of the ship, but because of like how real the problems were.
Yeah, sure.
Like, but I also really, really enjoyed the Vacation House episode, because Pearl was gonna say something there.
Yeah, it was a nice mix of like, oh shit, there's intrigue with Homeworld, which is always nice, but it was also like it was a good emotional breakthrough for Steven, like opening up about like, I think Connie hates me now, and I'm afraid that you guys are gonna hate me too because I fucked up, blah blah blah. You know, like you know, Greg being excited that, hey, like, I know this, it's not Homeworld bullshit. Like that was a cool moment, and I appreciated that. And I'm always down for a nice sappy moment of the crystal gems and Greg looking at the stars. Oh, it's good. It's good.
Oh yeah. No, it's actually, can we talk about the one kind of bad thing about this bomb?
What's that?
We kind of mentioned it a couple times before, how we felt about Garnet as a character, and how she feels like her arc was the reveal that she was a fusion, and then though, and ironically, despite her song being all about how she's her own being, she feels very much like the fusion of, now that we see it, she feels exclusively the fusion of Ruby and Sapphire. And there's like, I feel like she was so much like, there's in the Vacation episode when they're all trying to convince Steven to come along, there's this awkwardness that Garnet delivers in her lines. Like, it's supposed to be like a joke, right? But like, that awkwardness existed, I think, a little bit in maybe it was season 1, I think, maybe it was season 1 or season 2, where like the awkwardness of those lines is supposed to be, oh, she doesn't know how to interact with like humans. That's supposed to be the joke, but the joke in this one is that she was talking to herself and delivering the lines really shittily. Like, I feel like they might have. I feel like Garnet has gone through her arc. I feel like
I think there's still room there for that, and I think having Garnet as kind of like the wise Jedi of the group is still a valid character. You know what I mean? Like if they're like, I feel like Garnet and Greg are both halves of a single whole in that like they're both wise in completely opposite areas and total like kind of buffoons in the other half. You know what I mean? Whereas like Greg's kind of a hapless, kind of a clumsy dude, and it's not very good in terms of combat or anything like that, or anything homeworld related, but he's good at, having Steven and other characters like talk through their problems and shit like that. And then whereas Garnet is all about the Zen, like, the gem side and figuring out like what it means to be a fusion and all that good stuff. Like I don't know. I feel like having these wise characters that don't necessarily have as much growth is okay for me. I do think that they will have to try to do something a little bit more interesting with Garnet down the line, and I don't know what.
Well, I guess it's not that I don't see like how do I word this? I don't. It's not that I don't see Garnet as like how do I word this? She went through her, for the reader at least, or the reader, for the viewer, she went through the arc of her the big reveal was that she was a fusion, right? Like and. It's one of those things where it's like, I guess all I'm hoping for is that, like, I just hope that they try to keep her to herself and not emphasize the fact that she is that. Like I feel like they've emphasized enough that she's a fusion, because they did a beautiful episode where I cried. It was the first time I cried in a Steven Universe episode, where they tell the origin story of Garnet. It's a beautiful episode. It's just, I feel like Garnet needs to be emphasized. She needs to maybe not I don't know. I don't know what I want anymore. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I don't know what I want. I want her to just be
her.
Yeah.
And not
I want her to be I want her to be season 1 Garnet again. I want her to be like, the cool character and stuff. But then again, this bomb didn't really have a lot of the crystal gems. It was very.
That's the thing, and I was just about to say, is like, I need a good old fashioned crystal gem adventure, just one. You know what I mean? Like where they all just do something together. It's the 4 of them. Not to like, exclude anybody, but I want like a classic Steven Universe episode. I think the last time we got that was when Steven learned how to jump super high and float, and like. The crystal gems were like trying to talk their way out of figuring it out.
That can't be the last time. Oh my god, was that the last time?
That's the last time I remember.
Wasn't that last year?
Yes, because then I remember thinking like, oh man, it was good to have that like the core 4 again. Then that's just them, I don't know. I mean, like, I think it goes to show how well Steven Universe like writes its characters, and that we have so much variety in terms of like what characters are in what episodes. But I want to see more of the core 4 again, doing core 4 shit. Just the crystal fucking gems, not the crystal gems East. Although those guys are fun too. But
yeah, no, I love seeing East, but now I guess it's just.
It's the crystal temps technically, but whatever, it's fine. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Well, let me put it this way. I know it's not going to happen anytime soon, but I'm very much looking forward to the episode where Lapis does eventually come back.
Yeah.
And you know what this is, as a Lapidot hopeful. They're going to have their development after she comes back. It might take a hot second, but they're going to have their development, and then they're going to fuse. That's. I'm such shit. All right, let's go get.
So good.
We're
getting Josh back.
Yeah, because I think we're done. I said everything I wanted to say. The episodes, once again, and we're gonna have this exact problem with the next subject. Everything is good.
Yeah. I think I do kind of want to wish I lived in the world of Steven Universe where everybody talks to their emotions and he knows exactly what to say about what they're feeling all the time. I will say that. This is not a spoilery thing at all. I just think that everyone, like, Steven Universe does not leave any room for subtext in terms of, I wonder how this character feels, because they'll tell you, And it's refreshing, and I like it, and I enjoy the style, but I wish I lived in it because it would make personal relationships so much easier that way.
Well,
wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could wake up? All right, so last little bit, I guess. Josh, you're back, but I'll just say this. God, I really wish they wouldn't do these fucking bomb. Like, this was 6 episodes.
It was good.
It was good, but we're not gonna get enough. We're not gonna. This was the last one for the year. But I'm gonna go on a limb and say this is the last one till February.
That's pretty. Yeah, because they're gonna air on Cartoon Network in December through December. So that lines up.
That's so dumb. Yeah. That's so dumb. I feel like they're purposely sabotaging it. At this point.
Also the Cartoon Network app. I'm sorry, but I tried my hardest to watch this legally and support the show, and it made it painful at every fucking turn. And I'm not talking about, there's too many ads. No, it's just like I tried Chromecasting it from my phone, and it would just cut out and quit Chromecasting like every half episode, and I would have to relaunch the app. It's so not even about having to. Yeah, like I had to stop myself from going and pirating it. And I was like, nope, I need to support the show. I need to do it legally, and it made it twice as painful to watch.
Thanks, Cartoon Network. You keep marathoning your fucking Teen Titans Go bullshit.
And it's got to make the money somehow, right? Whatever. Anyways,
it's like I think the primary way you fight piracy is not through like virtue signaling and stuff, but like by making your platform easier than pirating. Honestly.
You have to be better than free.
Like Crunchyroll, and how Crunchyroll, the pirate site, became the perfect anime site. Where it's very.
I mean, it's not the perfect anime site because it's missing a lot of series that people want.
It's missing a lot of series that
it's a lot closer than
it's
missing like a lot of other sites.
The bit rates are trash on there. Like absolute garbage.
Actually, it's funny that I say that, and yet I use Hulu to watch My Hero Academia. I take it back. Well, I guess I always just go to Crunchyroll because of that origin, that sick origin story. But let's speaking of anime, let's talk about My Hero Academia. Let's talk about episodes 8 and 9 because 8 and 9 were like.
So I missed the Velvetcast for 8.
Oh, same here. Oops.
Well,
so give us a quick rundown of what happened in 8.
All right.
I remember the basics.
So 8 was essentially you watch the rest of the exams happen. So we find out that that Icy Hot is able to freeze a building and then heat it up. I know he has a name, but
Todoroki.
Icy Hot it is.
Okay.
Icy Hot, yeah.
Yeah. So Icy Hot is he's pretty cool, pretty sick shit. Bakugo is all pissed off and angry. God, I just looked at the chat real quick, which is just like Oceana says Crunchyroll's missing fucking Classicoid too, and I'm like, you guys, like, I don't feel like maybe I'm just so out of anime now that like you guys, it's like, yeah, they don't have all the anime I want. Like,
I mean, talking about stuff that's more relevant to me, I guess it's like, like the Little Witch Academia got picked up by Netflix, and then a whole bunch of anime that are really good got picked up by Amazon.
No, the Amazon one is like the one that like, oh.
Like that one bothers me a lot. And like, sure, yeah, the argument can be said that, you should have Prime, probably. And it's like, okay, but I don't want to buy Prime to watch my anime, and I don't want it to be segregated from like all the rest of the Amazon Prime videos.
Oh man.
As it's like, it sort of seems stupid because that's how they used to do it. Like the anime they license would be in like Amazon Video.
Well,
which you would get access to when you had Prime.
Well, yeah. That's so dumb actually. All right. But anyways, back to My Hero Academia.
Yes.
So all you guys missed was it's the episode that establishes that Bakugo is going to start trying to develop as a character. Maybe he establishes himself as the rival, and also Midoriya tells Bakugo that like he inherited his power from someone, and that's all you missed. It's actually a pretty bare bones episode. Like, still fun, still packed, but it's pretty bare bones. Episode 9 starts actually. I like how like each half of these episodes feel like full episodes. Because episode 9 starts off with them trying to get a class rep, and they all voted for Midoriya. Then the press comes in and like starts to fuck with them, and then Josh appears and becomes the class rep. And then at the end of the episode, they go to Universal Studios Japan, and then the bad guys show up. So once again, we were watching the dub for this series, and
Are we past where you stopped? Like, where
yes,
you watched?
we are officially past. Episode 8 was the last episode I watched, so episode 9 is the official start of Everything Is New to Me.
Okay, so you haven't seen the bad guys yet.
No, that's why I picked up the image for the bad guy for it, because that is a cool design. That you know what that makes me want to play Bloodborne. like it
Makes you want to play what? Sorry, you cut off.
Oh, I want to see Bloodborne. I want to watch Bloodborne, or not watch Bloodborne. I want to play Bloodborne.
Oh, dude, do it. It's so good. It's so good.
It'll be baby's first Souls game.
Oh my god, dude. If you play Bloodborne, I'll be so happy. That's my favorite Souls game.
I actually want to see like Bloodborne gameplay because I've not played it because I don't have a PS4. And I've not watched any LPs of it.
Well, tell you what, you know what? So we'll talk about it later. we'll talk about it later, because it's one of those things where I'm like, I should do this for a show. But so these episodes were, once again, I feel like we say this every week, but these were once again very solid episodes. Actually, episode 8 was kind of weak for me.
Yeah, I would agree. 8 was probably my least favorite episode, I think.
I think around episode 8 was where I stopped watching the anime.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, it's like I'd already been reading the manga, so it's like there wasn't really anything going on. It felt like.
Yeah, well, this is kind of like the turning point where, like, this is kind of like the first episode where everything kind of felt ordinary. Like, this is the close to, like, it felt almost like a slice of life thing. Obviously, besides the cliffhanger at the end, but, like, you know, like, the whole main crux of the episode, this episode 8, that is trying to find a class rep, and it's like, all right, like, yeah, this is kind of a generic high school anime. Like, it's the most generic high school anime episode in the show, I think. And now, but I mean, it paves the way for what is the final arc of the first season, which is going to be fun. So,
I'm
this is just a
forward.
12-episode season, right?
What's that? It's 13 episodes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing where this goes. That's the thing. So like we're finally at the point where I'm now, everything's new. And I'm super looking forward to next week's session. Like, I'm very much like, I want to know.
You think we'll do a 3-episode watch?
How many episodes are left in the season?
There's 5 episodes left.
No, is there?
4. 5 episodes, because we're gonna watch episode 9 tomorrow, and there's 13.
Oh, we're on 9 right now, right?
No.
Yeah.
We
next week.
We start episode 10.
Wait, episode 8? I'm so sorry. So was episode 8?
Okay. Episode 8 was the episode where they finish up the heroes versus villains bit.
Oh, okay.
Episode 9 is the one that we're talking about right now, and next week we watch episode 10.
Got it. Okay. All right. Yep. So we have 4 episodes left.
Okay, so it's 14 episodes in the first season.
13. 4 episodes.
Oh.
9.
I always forget how this is so stupid. Okay, yeah, no, it's fine. So we'll watch 2 episodes next week, and then we'll finish up season 1 by the time December starts.
Cool.
Which then sets us up for season 2 throughout December.
Yes.
And so
yes.
I like the pacing of this. This is going really great. I feel bad because we missed like a week or 2 because of scheduling stuff, but like. This is a really good show. I'm really, really enjoying myself. I liked how
Is it nice to remember that you can enjoy shonen anime?
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
it's
That's exactly how I feel about this.
actually, yeah, like it's one of those things where like I got really sick of it, and I was getting a lot of my desire to watch a good heroes like thing or like a good shonen title, ironically enough, through Overwatch. Because Overwatch is just that. But like I'm very much looking forward to seeing how the rest of the series turns out. I'm always excited at the idea of like, oh yeah, like even though like, because we made the joke that like I actually kind of forgot that we were watching this tonight, because it had been a while. But I'm very much looking forward to seeing how the rest of this turns out. I'm looking forward to seeing how the characters interact. Like everything looks like it's gonna be fun. Like everything looks like it's gonna be great. I like the idea that like we're still doing some high school stuff. But like overall, I feel like there's also not much to say about these episodes because
I think they're kind of transitionary arcs. You know what I mean? Like we're coming off of it makes sense, right? I think it's good for pacing actually because we're coming off of a pretty big battle between Deku and Bakugo, right? Like their first big bombastic battle, and these episodes kind of gave us some nice breathing room. They paved the way for some character development for Bakugo and established Ida a little bit more. But they were kind of, they're not going to be anybody's favorite episodes. I think,
no, of course not. Yeah.
Nothing too terrible to say about them, but yeah, like this is just it was good. It was nice, good to leave. It was good to give us some breathing room for what's going to be the final arc of the season, which is going to be a pretty solid ride, I think. So
I also because I I kind of mentioned it earlier, but I'm actually getting some Katekyo vibes from this show.
Really? How do you mean? Elaborate.
Okay, so for those of you at home, Katekyo was one of my favorite shonen titles for a while. It was because it felt so different from everything else I was watching at the time, and I really liked the art and everything from the manga. The anime wasn't the best adaptation ever, but whatever. There's something about the character designs and how this is all kind of paced that reminds me a little bit of how Katekyo would make me feel, which is a super good thing.
I mean, all the character designs look like they could head their own series. Oh, okay, not all of them, but a decent number of them.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like maybe it's the battle school, the way that they handle battle school kind of thing. Maybe it's the way that they do certain, like there's something about it that just reminds me of Katekyo Hitman Reborn, and I think that's why I'm enjoying it so much.
I definitely think I get the sentiment.
Like, I feel like that's just, I mean, and it's a super good thing, and I'm like, I love the designs. I like to see like the villain design. It's up on the screen right now, but I'm like, he's just wearing a suit of hands, and I'm like, what? That's cool.
What's funny is that I'm pretty sure that like the reason he has like a suit of hands is because the artist literally said he likes drawing hands.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great.
It gave the animators a really hard time because like hands are really hard to animate.
Yeah.
It's such that's the thing. I know people don't like Bakugo's design, but like I think it's cool. I like it.
Bakugo's got like a pretty awesome design, in my opinion. Like it's the expressive. Granted, to some people it might look super stupid, but.
Well, yeah, it's silly, but I like it. It fits his personality.
You know what it is? They probably look at like a PNG file or like when they show like the character design sketches and stuff like that. They're probably looking at that without the context of how because when he's just standing still, it doesn't look like him. It just looks like a character design. But
it looks like generic anime character design. I get it.
But when you see him in motion. Like when you see him in motion and you have the personality imposed onto it, it's like, oh shit! Like Bakugo is like fucking cool. And I love Midoriya's little rabbit ear outfit. I don't think he's gonna get the rabbit ears back, but like I liked that bit for a little bit. And I like all the character designs. Everything looks cool, and so All Might's losing his power, which I think is interesting. So it's actually being transferred to Midoriya. Like he's going to lose quirk.
I mean, it's definitely something where this series definitely keeps in mind that there is a definite time limit for Midoriya to become a better hero.
Right. It keeps the tension up in a good way, I think. Yeah, because there is that constant ticking time, not time bomb, but like, there's a countdown basically of like how long is All Might going to be able to stay as the symbol of peace.
Like, it reminds me a lot of this one anime from the 90s called Maharomatic. And the main character is like a cyborg that's like basically retired and become a maid. But at the end of each episode, they end it with like the number of days she has left to live.
Huh.
And
what's it called? Maharomatic. Okay, I just found it. Okay.
Yeah, It feels... I guess it feels as impending as that, where you know that like All Might's gotta die eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he has to go 1v1.
Right. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. We shall see.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think with that, let's just end things up for tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think we're good. I think we did this for an hour. It's been fun. It's been real. So yeah, guys, this was another exciting episode of the Velvetcast. If you like this video, give it a like. Which is funny because I'm like, yeah, we'll see if we'll continue this. No, this goes on forever now. We're bound to this series like for the rest of our lives.
It's good. I enjoy doing this one. So yeah.
Well, yeah, no, like Velvetcasts are like I don't expect them to get like the most views. It's literally just our podcast. It's not like an actual
Shit. We are just looking at the thumbnail. We didn't talk about Fire Emblem Warriors at all. Oops. Sorry.
Oh shit. Okay, hang on, real quick. Sora. Fire Emblem Warriors. Fire Emblem Warriors, go.
I like it a lot. I don't know. I'm not big on the Warriors franchise. I played a little bit of Hyrule Warriors, but I never owned it. I only borrowed it from a friend, and I enjoyed that for what it was, for being a big Zelda fan. I think Fire Emblem is a better fit for the Warriors franchise just because it's like closer, it's medieval fantasy and it's a huge cast of characters. So it kind of fits the whole war vibe of Warriors, like the conquesting vibe of Warriors a little bit better. It's fun. It's good, dumb fun. I was playing it while I deafened myself for the Stranger Things talk. I just unlocked Lynn from Fire Emblem, the GBA game.
Oh, cool. That's like
our first Velvet Room video.
Oh, you know what they need? They need that Bot of the Beast DLC.
The Bot of the Beast, yes!
Yeah, they need Bot of the Beast DLC.
Yeah,
as long as you're not playing Arslan, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, I think so.
The sad part is I'm gonna keep playing that and see where.
I kind of want to see how you feel about Fire Emblem Warriors. I don't know how it stacks up with the other Warriors games. I'm enjoying it though. It's good, dumb fun.
Well, like I think the most important thing about a Warriors game is like as long as you enjoy the characters that you're playing as, it's because it's a power trip. It's just a power trip game.
Yeah, it is a total power trip game, and also like Lynn is like a total like she seems fucking broken. Like I am having fun just like she's literally just a lawnmower. The way she cuts dudes down, it's great. But I will say that like, and then there's a lot of salt going around with the Fire Emblem community as far as like the roster goes, because it's almost exclusively there's Marth, there's Lynn, there's Celica, and then there's Seed and Tiki, and the rest of the characters are from Awakening or Fates. So if you liked any Fire Emblem game that was not Awakening or Fates, then you're going to be disappointed. There's no Roy, there's no Ike.
Well, those guys are clearly DLC.
They're not confirmed yet. They had a roadmap out for DLC, and it's more characters from Fates and Awakening, and that's the only DLC that I'm aware of so far, and some from Shadow Dragon, Marth's game. So I'm not aware if there's any plans in the cards for them. They're clear additions, right? Or they're additions for whatever the next Fire Emblem Warriors game is. Because that's the thing, is like this franchise is big enough where they can make a second one of these easily. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. I enjoy Fates and Awakening, particularly Awakening's characters, enough that I can go through it, but way too much Fates in my opinion. Like just like almost half the roster is Fates.
Well, to be fair, I mean,
it's the newest one.
It's not only is it the newest one, but it's also like the most popular
Fates
one.
Is really? I thought Awakening was a little whatever. It's probably my own bias. superimposed onto it. But I personally did not like Fates nearly as much as Awakening, even though they're very similar games. I got way more attached to the characters in Awakening, way more. So I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Nice thing.
All right, now we're closing up. All right.
Yeah. Fire Wars is fun. Go play it. It's
yeah,
fun.
Yeah,
If you like Warriors, you like Fire Emblem, great.
All right. So if you guys like this video, give it a like. If you guys want to subscribe, which it's always weird for me to say that bit in the Velvetcast because I'm like, if you guys didn't know who we were. like why would this be your first experience to Velvet Room, you know? But hey, if it is, I mean, give that subscribe button if you want to listen to more of our dumb bullshit. And I want to once again thank all the Patreon supporters. You guys are the fucking best. You're the ones who are making the show happen. Without you guys, this would be a much more low budget. And you know, we're gonna start looking.
You give us the resources to do what we can do.
Oh yeah, no, and it's so fucking real. I once again super appreciate it. We're gonna start looking into making the Velvetcast and the Adventurecast available in another audio format, hopefully for you guys. I would love it to have on iTunes. I would love to have it on iTunes. I want that. I want that so fucking bad because I use iTunes and no one else apparently does. But like when people are like, I listen to my podcast on Spotify, it's like I listen to my podcasts on a fucking iTunes podcast section because that's where it originated from. That's where podcasts came from. And everyone wants to fight me on it. They're like, Mitchell, that's dumb. Just use Spotify. I'm like, no, fuck you. Fuck you. All right, guys. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening in. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, dude. Best of luck, man. I'm super excited.
Oh, I'm so nervous. Cards on the table. I'm so nervous. We've never picked up a series with a different pilot before, so like this is gonna be a little different.
It'll be a different vibe, but you know, I know you guys will do well.
Yeah, Jackie's fucking great. She really is. She's a fucking star. She started off as a fan, and now she works for us. Like, it's fucking awesome. All right. Anyways, guys, next time on The Velvet Room.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for listening.
All right. Bye.